Hi, I'm Shelly with Gilbert Marketplace, and today I am going to show you how I made this cute Chop Shop Halloween sign. What you'll need is one of these signs from the Dollar Tree. You will need one of these, also the knife from the Dollar Tree. You will also need some wire from the Dollar Tree. You'll need red, black, and some brown stain, and I use Waverly. You can pick that up at Walmart. I did paint mine, I did vinyl mine Chop Shop in black vinyl, but you could also use marker or you could paint that. You'll need a sander, some wire cutters, and some sponges, and some paint brushes. And let's get started. So what I do is I remove these signs, and we're going to just pop that off. And we only need this one, obviously. You can use them off of there, but this is the longest one, so I wanted to, do that. Now, a lot of people, this one has glitter on it. They ask, how do you remove it? That's what you'll need your sander for. Since I'm in the house, I'm not gonna sander it, but honestly, you could just lay it on there and do a little. See how it's gonna come off, and it's going to rough up the board. I did this, obviously I highly recommend you do it outside. So you'll be making dust all over, but that takes the glitter off. You can kind of see there's nothing on there, okay? Then what I did is I took my Waverly stain and just give it a little like that, so you'll get a little in your cap. And I just get these little sponges in the bath section at the Dollar Tree. And you're just gonna dip, and a little bit goes a long way, and you're just gonna wipe this over the sign to kind of give it an aged brown look. This kind of makes it look real rustic and kind of gives it a cool, creepy look. So a little goes a long way. The more you rub it, the darker it will get, obviously. And I'm just doing the edges right now, so that they kind of are more highlighted. So that is how that's going to look. So it kind of looks old and kind of creepy. Okay, next what we will do is I will vinyl my sign. And what you'll want to do is you'll make your sign, and I will tell you, I just found a creepy kind of writing and put Chop Shop on it. This is, a lot of people ask me how I figure out my sizing on my vinyl. So with my ruler, what I usually do is I take my sign and measure it. In this case, it's 11 inches. I usually leave an inch on all sides. And so my Chop Shop should be at about, let's see, the smallest part, let's see here, this total in the longest part is about 10.5. You can see it's about 10.5, but we have the shorter side here. So I would say if I kind of center this and move it in about an inch, I usually leave an inch on that, we'll make it about 8.5 inches. So that's kind of how I figure it out. I like to leave a border minimum of an inch all the way around. And then you'll just use, and these are old dental tools, and I just pick these out. The Dollar Tree does carry some, but this is pretty sharp, and I like it. It's just real strong and sturdy. So now I pulled out my centers, and that's my font. And I just kind of, like I said, I made it look creepy. You'll use your transfer paper, and this is just clear. You'll put it down, and then normally you'll use a credit card or something like that to rub it. In this case, I'm just going to use the sign itself, and I kind of do both sides, pushing down very firmly. Now, when you go to peel this off, it should stick, and sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it does. Now, I did use this vinyl before. Let me grab my tool real quick. Let me just push this down with this credit card a little bit better. I used this vinyl before, this plastic. I try not to use really brand new ones, especially when I'm going to do it when I just kind of painted it, because I don't want it to pull off my paint. Sometimes we gotta play with it a little. Here I'm pulling off the wrong side. Oy, oy, oy. Okay. A little bit of hassle here. Maybe I should have used a stronger piece. And usually you'll peel this up on an angle so that once you get it started, it usually goes pretty good. And we'll pull that on an angle so that none of my letters come off. So now I have my chop shop. And you determine if you want what side to be the top. I think I'll go with it like this. And we'll make sure that's pretty level. I'll push that down. And we'll get that on there firmly. Don, can you grab me the drill again with the small bit? So now we have our chop shop sign, and then I'm going to open our mallet or cleaver, I guess is what they call that. Now it looks so plasticky, so I don't really like that. I think it makes it look super cheap. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our sponge and a little bit of black paint. This happens to be Waverly. And I will just take and tap in my sponge, and I will just kind of rub this on here to make it look like it's old and weathered. We'll go right over the blood and everything, okay? If it's too dark, then just kind of wipe out a little bit more. I'm gonna do both sides because you may see both sides of the sign. So just rubbing it all over. And then there's some silver kind of on the handle. I'll just put a little on that so it doesn't look so shiny and new. There's a couple little dots on the handle, and I'll kind of just pat this on there to kind of give it that aged look. Once you're happy with that, we'll just kind of let that dry a few seconds. And that's our little cleaver, mallet, knife, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so we're done with that. And I just keep my sponges in a little plastic bag instead of washing them out every time, as many crafts as I do. All right, now this procedure could be a little bit messy, but what I do is I just take my paintbrush and dip it in a little bit of the red paint and kind of flicker it so that it looks like it's been splattered on my knife. And this gets all over your hands, but you can just put as much as you like on it. Whoosh. And you can kind of see it splattering on there. It's not real crazy heavy, but it makes it look like there was an accident. And I just kind of dabbed some more on the red that was already on there. And you could add more if you want to along the edge. However you want to do it. But that's how I get that like splattered effect. And you'll want to make sure that you wipe your surface or do it on a surface that you don't mind, because it kind of does go everywhere. But that's how I do the knife. Now, for the sign, I'm going to attach it to the cleaver, and we will just drill I'm going to line that up to this hole, and so we'll just put a little hole in it, and I'm going to put this under there so we don't drill my granite counter. And then I just make sure it's good through both sides, and I'm going to do it at about this length right here on this side. Make sure it's through both sides. Okay. And then once I have this one wired, I will drill the handle of the knife. But I want to put this through the mallet. I'm going to leave a little access here, and what I'm going to make it appear to be, I'm going to twist it a few times round and round, because what I want it to look like is, and if you have bob wire, you're more than welcome to use it. That's what I would have done, but I didn't have any, so I said I'm gonna make it look like bob wire. So if you wrap it a few times and leave a piece of wire kind of sticking out, because that's how bob wire looks, it will give it a cool effect. And then what I'll do is I'll take a smaller piece and I'll wrap it next to it so it looks like it was bob wire. So we'll just twist that, because bob wire has those little prongs sticking out. Now, depending on where you want your sign to hang or how long you want your sign to hang is how you would adjust this. I'm going to just make it, I don't know, I'd say that's about 4 inches. And we'll do the same thing. We'll just twist it around, and I will leave a little piece sticking out to make this appear like it is also bob wire. Cut another small piece and twist that along the edge there too, to also look like some of the bob wire fencing. So that's gonna make it look super cute like bob wire. Now I'm going to put, we're gonna have to use my new package. I've made a few of these. So it comes like this, and we'll just grab a little bit longer piece. So we'll just unravel that, because I do want it to hang level. So I will kind of figure, man, that's awfully knotted in there, but that should, let's just cut it here so I have a little extra. These aren't too sharp, pardon me. Okay, so I will attach it here. And same thing, we'll wrap it around, make a few twists, because bob wire has that look, and we'll leave a tail hanging. I will come back with another piece and just repeat this step, obviously, over and over. And we'll give this a twist. I don't know, Halloween and Christmas are my two favorite times. I love to decorate. So here, I will just kind of pull that and figure that this is where it's gonna go. I do not wanna put my drill through that hole because I don't know what's holding it. I'm gonna go right next to it, and I'm gonna put just nice and slow, and it goes all the way through real nice and clean. So I will then put my wire through there so I can pull it to make sure it is somewhat level. And we will do the same procedure. So this part is probably the part that takes the longest, just wiring it. We'll use this as our scrap. And you could honestly go down the wire and put a few more like bob wire pieces sticking out if you wanted it to look real creepy. But at least this isn't too crazy sharp, like real bob wire. So see, it kind of has that barbed wire feel. And then I'm going to do the same on my sign here. I think I'll put them in the center a little bit more, at about one probably above the H line. Like I said, I don't want to drill the counter. And then I will probably put one over the O. And this will be for hanging purposes. We'll grab another piece of wire and basically do the same thing. And I will make it so that it's a decent size. Wrapping this through here again and giving it a little twist. So it appears to be like barbed wire, and one through here, through the back, giving it a little more twist. And I can just use these little pieces here. You don't want to leave them too long or it won't look like barbed wire. Just make them little small pieces. And so we're gonna twist this one a little bit more, only because it looks a little silly. And barbed wire, it just has like screws and screws and screws. You can actually look it up how it looks. So that's the effect we're, trying to go with. And here is our Chop Shop sign that will be so cute for Halloween. Thanks for watching. I'm Shelly with Gilbert Marketplace, and you can also follow me on YouTube. I hope everyone enjoyed this tutorial and you guys all have a great day.